Hey Keith, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let this play on through. We'll put you back in your address position, and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you here in your setup, let's first of all take a look at your posture, which looks good. Spine's relatively straight on a tilt. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Arms hang down nice and naturally off the tilted spine. Club works out to the ball. So really good posture here in association with good balance. Looks great. Let's go ahead and pay attention to your alignment now. We can see that your feet are aiming left. Carry that out towards the intended target. Theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. Under that philosophy and seeing where you are aimed, you're clearly set up to hit the golf ball way out over to the left over these trees. So you're obviously accustomed to seeing some form of a golf shot that moves from left to right, either start somewhere out towards where you're aimed, or perhaps you even block it a little bit to the right and start the ball in this direction, then get it out in the air and have it working like this. So we do see some form of a left-right movement in your golf shots for sure. If you ever square the face up, you will hit the ball more solid, but obviously it's going to be going way left on you because that's where you're aimed. So let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here between you and Jordan Spieth. Got some color-coded lines on the screen just to understand what proper swing plane is and how to achieve straight golf shots. So obviously, you know, with Jordan we can see he's much more square than you. So when he draws the golf club back, creates good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the club. Want to see the club coming back on plane along the red line. Also in the early stages of the golf swing, we want to incorporate some good wrist hinge into play, which means we need to transition the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands to getting this club head now above and behind our hands. Again, club shaft still on the red line. From here, we're going to work the club now from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we either want to have the left arm and the club situated on the yellow line, anywhere between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue as we see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to have full shoulder rotation, want to do this about a very stable right leg while maintaining the posture axis we achieved at address. So with you, as you initiate your takeaway, your hands, club, obviously go outside of the swing plane. Very, very common for people who set up open. Aside from the fact that you're actually pushing your hands and arms even further away from your core, out away from you. As you continue to move back here, hopefully we get some wrist hinge into play where the club head can travel above your hands. It's getting behind, but it's not getting above. Right here, now it's getting above, so we're getting some wrist hinge. But what we do see is that your hands and arms, even with you being open, your hands and arms have really moved out away from your core. What we need to understand about a golf swing is a circular motion. It's an arc. An arc works around our body. It works inside. What you're doing is you're picking your hands and arms up out to the outside. So if you keep doing that, you're going to get your arms set way too steep at the top of the backswing. So we can see with Jordan Spieth, he swung the club back along the red line. You weren't anywhere close to that. You were way out to the right of it. He keeps swinging his hands and arms around. He still gets to the most upright position I want to see somebody, which is having the left arm on the blue line. Because you've taken your hands and arms way out, if you keep moving your hands and arms up here, you're going to get way above this blue line with your left arm. You're going to be set way too steep. And this is not a position we want the arms to be in to be able to go unload on a golf ball. Okay? So when we finally get set at the top, a lot of rerouting here, that's the top of your backswing. So look at your left arm, way above the blue line, covering your face. We need to shallow this position out. We need your left arm, and actually I prefer for amateur players to have their left arm on the yellow line, because then it's easier for us to come down on plane and get the club to return back to red. It's more difficult to do that the steeper we are. Well, now we've already discussed that you are in a very steep position. So how are you going to get this golf club to return back on plane? Well, you're going to have to reroute your hands and arms way back to the inside, drop it way back to the inside, almost like a Jim Furyk or a Freddie Couples. Okay? So we would like to see a much shallower position. How can you achieve that? Well, initiate a takeaway that swings back inside and around you. Don't take your hands and arms outside and away from your core. From here, as we create our transition back into the ball now, we want to take our weight from our right foot to our left. We want to fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target, unwind the core, and fire the hands. And in doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing the golf club from the blue-yellow V zone, wherever we set it, back onto red. This is critical right here. This is the most important part of a golf swing. That club head has to return back onto plane. The other thing we want to pay attention to here is the relationship between the lead forearm. I refer to this as the backwards check mark. This simply means the club head is remaining above and behind our hands coming into the hitting zone. This is what's going to allow us to create a lot of power in our golf swing. Aside from the fact that he's also going to hit the ball straight, due to the fact that the club has returned to plane, which is a main criteria in producing straight golf shots, in accordance with our alignment, and lastly, assuming the club face squares up. So, with you being in this steep position, I just don't think there's any way you're going to get this club back to red unless you really reroute it, like I said, like a Jim Furyk or Freddie Couples. So let's go ahead and observe what you do on your transition. Excellent dropping right there. You see that move? So this was really good. You're very steep, and then you drop it back to the inside. Now, I don't think you dropped it enough, though, and you're still going to come in steep. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to reroute this so far back to the inside to get this club to return back to plane. So we can go ahead and mark your club head right now. We can clearly see that your club is not returning back to plane. And as we continue to track the club head coming into the ball, it's just going to continue to come into the ball too steep and out in front of you. So go to the next frame. Next frame. See how the club's out in front? So if we connect the dots here, you can have a very good visual just as to how steep that club is coming into the ball due to the fact that you set your arms too steep. So again, if you set your arms more shallow at the top of your backswing, these dotted yellow lines will be way closer to red. Now, whether it's 5%, 50%, or 95% would be yet to be determined, because we don't know until you actually bring the club back more inside and around and shallow out the position. But I guarantee you there's a domino effect to the downswing if you improve the top of your backswing. With Jordan Spieth, once again, we see the club has returned back to plane here. That is your frame right here. That club's nowhere near plane. And then as Jordan comes in the golf ball, notice his club attacks the ball from the red line. And I've already stated that this is what produces straight golf shots, based on our alignment, and lastly, assuming a club face squares up via having a good grip. So, seeing that the downswing planes are vastly different here, we can go ahead and take a look at the paths of the club. We can see with Jordan, his club is inside the ball, it expands out to make contact, moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. He's going to hit the ball straight based off his aim, because his grip is good. With you, your club is stuck outside the ball. It's dropping down and across. Look at the path it's moving on. So very simply put, if we square the face up to that path, we'll hit the ball nice and solid, but where's it going to go? Yeah, it's going to go way left on us in that direction of where we're swinging. Also, if we over-release the club to the path, not only do we pull the ball, but now we're imparting right to left spin, and we're going to hit some form of a pull draw or pull hook. If we leave the club face open, which is what you're going to have to do because that's going to be your compensation for the over-the-top move, the nice thing is you can block the ball a little right of the path. By having the face open, we've imparted a little bit of left to right spin, and the ball can hopefully fade or slice back on line. And that's what I said right from the get-go. Based on your setup, I knew you're going to swing the club from out to in. And when we're swinging the club from out to in, I know you have to leave the face open in order to produce a shot that's going to get the ball hopefully to find the target. Now the other issue here is if we leave the face wide open to the red path. Incredibly, we're swinging way left, but virtually we could block the ball to the right by leaving the face wide open, and now we're going to import way too much left-right spin, and we're going to hit some kind of a block slice. So the end result of your golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. Because the club is attacking the ball from the outside, striking the ball, moving to the inside. If we square the face up, it follows the red arrow. Over-release the club, follows the smaller red arrows. Leave it wide open, incredibly follows blue, even though we're swinging way left. Leave it slightly open, follows yellow, and the shot turns out. Just want to look at your footwork through to your finish. Your right heel's off the ground here. Let's see if you continue with that footwork through to the finish. Looks great. Very nice job. So at this point in time, I just want to bring you back down to the impact zone, knowing that you're swinging the golf club from out to in. And in this particular swing, I want to observe the club face, see what the club face did. So it looks like the club face squared up pretty good. Hopefully it stayed a little bit open. And we definitely see that the ball has been blocked out towards the intended target. So that's great, because again, considering we're aiming left, swinging left, but the ball didn't start left. So therefore the face was open. We've blocked this ball on line. That ball will have to have some left to right spin, and the ball is going to have some movement from left to right as anticipated. Okay? If the timing's on, shot's going to turn out. But like I said, it does require a lot of timing on your part. If you over-release this club, it's going way left on you. Under-release the club, going way right on you. And if you time it okay, it'll find the intended target. But you're also losing a lot of power here, because when we swing a club from out to in and leave the face open, it's a glancing blow. So again, if we want to be consistent, we want to hit straight shots, what are the three things we need? We need good aim. Feet have to run parallel left of our target. You're aiming way left. The club has to come down on plane in order to hit the ball straight based off that alignment. Well, your club's not coming down on plane, it's coming over the top. A lot of that has to do with how you're bringing the club back and taking it outside and steep. So again, learn how to bring your hands, arms, and golf club inside and around you and shallow out your arm plane. That'll have a domino effect on your downswing, and you'll come for more on plane. At that point in time, we got to deal with your club face. Well, in your case right now, you have to leave the face open. You're aiming left, swinging left. If you don't leave that face open, that ball's not going to find the intended target. Okay? Anyways, good athletic ability here. Hands work great. Hands come back. They fire through. Your core works well. You coil, you uncoil. You've got good footwork through to the finish. Some nice athleticism here. It looks really, really good. So if you could improve your alignment, improve your backswing, swinging around and getting more shallow, that'll influence a better downswing. You'll already become a much better ball striker and more consistent and hit the ball straighter. I don't think you're going to improve your downswing 100% by taking your club inside and around and shallowing it out and squaring up your stance. But at the end of the day, once we're more square, swinging it inside and around and shallowing out the top of your backswing, we can go ahead and focus on, bringing that club into plane 100%, whatever did not correct on its own. Okay? And once you do that, once you have good aim, good downswing, playing good club face position, well, like I said, that's when we become very consistent. Anyways, I hope you had a fabulous day. If at any point in time you ever want to work on any of these aspects of your golf game, I'm located over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a little program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to touch base. I'd be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, again, I hope you had a fabulous day. Hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the fall here and the weather stays okay and you get a few more rounds in. Take care.